We're standing on Government Bluff that rises about 150 feet above the waters of Sturgeon Bay. It was here that Door County's first industry began in 1834, a limestone quarry. Originally intended for a military fort that was never constructed, the stone was later used by the federal government to construct piers and harbors around Lake Michigan. After the government closed the quarry, it was reopened in the early 1880s by Frank Hogan. Hogan was only a squatter on this property, however, and was driven off. He later started the Green Bay Stone Company in Sawyer, now part of the city of Sturgeon Bay. With its limestone bluff so close to the water, Sturgeon Bay was an ideal location for this business. By 1898, 4 quarries operated here. Latham and Smith, which is what you can see in this shot right here, and also nearby the Green Stone Company, the Laurie Stone Company, and the Temison and Jensen Company. Quarried stone was loaded onto ships and moored nearby and economically carried to ports around Lake Michigan. By 1917, the breakwaters and piers of almost every harbor around Lake Michigan had been constructed in part with Sturgeon Bay limestone. This also is where we sail. You can see off in the distance over here, around those two headlands, or those two bluffs, we'll have Little Harbor, and then on up the Sturgeon Bay coastline. Whoops, sorry about that. I wasn't watching. Okay, and then right across, what we have is the outer part of Sawyer Harbor, where my friend Alan Wentworth lives, in the second house down, I think in that one right there. That's his, well, he calls it the shack. Nice shack, right? Look at that, beautiful. And then over here we have Sawyer Harbor. And notice, at this time, this is December 2nd, 2017, and you notice what we have here is a fisherman. Not one. Not two. But 3. There's a man in a kayak. I hope for his sake that he has something warm on. That water's pretty cold at this time of the year, although not as cold as it's going to be. So that's a little bit about the Niagara Escarpment and the stone quarries that are here in Sturgeon Bay. Thanks for joining us. There's a shot from Windrover of the Latham Smith Quarry in Sturgeon Bay. That's Niagara dolomite limestone that forms in the quarry there. The bluffs here, it's all part of the Niagara Escarpment. The ancient Silurean Sea was here about 425 million years ago. And that rock that you see, that limestone, is from the shells of those animals that left their fossils in the rock. So it was a warm inland saltwater sea. It covered all of us from Door County here all the way to Niagara Falls, the state of Michigan, parts of Ohio, and it's an amazing natural phenomena that's here. No place like it in the world. And of course, that's part of the plate tectonics, that we know that it was a warm sea because Door County was on the equator 425 million years ago or so when that sea was here. Now we're sailing on a glaciated water, which is from the glaciers, which happened about 10,000 years ago. And the lake levels were, of course, much higher. There's sea caves all around that are up 50 feet above the water here, because that's where the melting glacier left the sea levels when it first came through. There's the coastline of Door County. It's a beautiful day, sailing on her. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, as far as the quarry over here is concerned, when the Peshtigo fire happened, a lot of the rock was taken out of that quarry, and it was taken down on schooners, where the old wooden sailing ones, they cut the masts off and used them as barges to haul the stone on down to Chicago. An amazing need was brought up, because the Chicago fire and the Peshtigo fire happened at the same time. So there was a great need for building and for breakwalls that were made. All from our stone here on the Niagara Escarpment, particularly this quarry, the Latham Smith Quarry. Brought to you courtesy of Windrover Sailing On. And if you look off here, what you can see off in the distance there is Little Harbor, which will be an interesting little port of call for us to go to. Alrighty, signing off. This is the base of Government Bluff in Door County, in Potawatomi State Park. And what we have here is a Niagara, part of the Niagara Escarpment. You see Niagara Dolomite limestone, which is formed here, and you'll notice, look at this cave-like structure that's right over here. Pretty interesting, huh? That was formed, no doubt, by water lapping in here. And what's happened is, when the glaciers melted about 10,000 years ago, the water level, the lake level, was much higher, of course, at first, and then it came back down. See this cave that's up here on the top? Let's see. Whoa, look at that. Okay, this is similar to what would have happened with the Cave Point over on the other side, which we also have a movie on, which you can see on the YouTube channel if you go to Cave Point. But all of this, part of this Niagara Escarpment, was the backbone kind of that came up. The glaciers did not just wipe these down and wipe them thin. This is like the edge of that ancient Silurean Sea that was there, that goes all the way to New York. And of course we've got shots from the quarry on the other side, the Government or Latham Smith Quarry, on another one of our YouTubes that you could see describing the stone quarrying operation. Anyway, pretty cool. I like to think, I wonder how far back those would have been. When I was a boy, I used to like to come into here and kind of explore this area. Got to be a little careful though. Alrighty. Talk to you later. There's two caves being formed still in the Niagara Dolomite, Door County here at Cave Point. Nothing more powerful than water. Not wind, not fire, water. Magnificent.